Hi there, I'm Myrna Loy, as you know, of Blackbright News, www.issuu.com/Blackbright News. Now, every now and then I give a little feedback and a little update of what's going on as and when I hear it. And I do have an update on what is happening with Grenfell Tower, because we're not really hearing it in the media. So we have to make sure that it doesn't die a death and that people are being informed about what is happening. So I'm going to start it off with a very short video taken in the Houses of Parliament.
2. Grenfell households are still in hotels, despite the Prime Minister telling this House on the 17th of July, I have fixed a deadline of 3 weeks for everybody affected to be found a new home.
It is a shame to see the right object trying to treat this as some kind of political point-scoring opportunity. It is a real shame. These people, the victims of what is easily one of the most terrible tragedies ever to have taken place in our country, they are people, they are not statistics. We must work with them and listen to what their needs are.
Yeah, that was taken from The Independent, and apparently Central and North West London NHS Trust has become the largest trauma service, which is meant to be accommodating 11,000 people. Now, I don't know where they get the number 11,000 from. I understand that there'll be family members, well, of course, the survivors. I understand that family members will be traumatized. I understand that those in the fire service, they will be traumatized. I understand that neighbors will be traumatized and observers will be traumatized. But conjuring up the number 11,000 people will be using this trauma service, which is supposed to be the largest service ever in Europe, makes me wonder why they would come up with a figure like that. They're saying about people who watched it on TV are going to need post-traumatic stress treatment. My point is, I'd hate to think that this is another way of exploiting the situation. Another way of getting more money from the system to say, oh, we've got 11,000 people who are suffering from mental illness as a result of Grenfell Tower. That would be really sad if that's the case. But you do find that people exploit tragedy. Now, as of 3 days ago, which is the 29th of October, that's nearly, 7 months on, 18 families have been permanently housed. 142, I think, are still in hotel accommodation, unable to be housed for a variety of reasons. Going back to the trauma service, we have apparently 50 children who have received specialist care. 3 of them have been discharged from care. Post-traumatic stress or mental illness, they've completed their care. So we have an amalgamation of different elements to this tragedy. We have the housing, and we have, of course, the result of the tragedy causing post-traumatic stress. And I do understand that a lot of people will be affected by it. I mean, maybe 11,000 is correct, because I know that, for a long time, I kept on seeing those people with the lights at the top of the tower, and it did affect me. So maybe 11,000 is a realistic figure. I do not know. But as long as they're not using figures or statistics to exploit this tragedy, that's okay with me. Apparently, they've been trying to find out more information about the cladding under the Freedom of Information Act, but apparently it's going to compromise police investigations if they give any additional information. So they're not releasing any information at all, the councils. But hey, guess what? Apparently, because the people in high towers, the right to buy, bought all these flats, and now because of Grenfell Tower, they can't sell them. But of course, people are going to be afraid to buy a high-rise council flat now. And apparently they were selling like hotcakes before Grenfell Tower. So the council, Hammersmith and Fulham Council, have put aside 28.5 million to buy off these council flats. I don't know how much they're going to sell them off for, obviously below market value. But apparently if people want to get rid of them and they've been putting them on the market and they can't sell them, they feel that they have a responsibility, apparently, and they're going to buy them. I can only imagine that they're going to buy them because they're an eyesore, they're probably dangerous, and they want to rebuild those areas where the high rises are. They'll probably knock them all down eventually. So they've set aside, earmarked 28.5 million, according to the Independent. This is where I'm getting my source from, by the way. They've set aside multi-millions to buy the right to buy homes. I don't think they're buying anything else. I think it's just the right to buy homes that they're buying back off of the buyers, because I guess a lot of those they bought it very, very cheaply. And that's another thing. When you think, you know what? I've just had a thought. They're intending to buy the houses back from the right to buy. And I'm sure that those people who bought those houses bought them at a very, very reduced rate. So I'm wondering if they're going to pay them back what they bought the house for, or whether they're going to pay the full market value. I can't imagine 28.4 million being enough to buy all of those high-rise flats in Hammersmith and Fulham. You know, with 28.4 million, I don't see it. So they've got this sussed, I'd imagine. Anyway, I think that is all. I hope you find it useful. I can't think of anything else. Thank you, Russ Judah, for, keeping me on my toes, and for all my other subscribers and watchers and viewers and, those who write comments. Irene, Devo, enough love. Okay, that's all for now. Bye.